Mark, here we are in your lovely house in the Marin area of San Francisco, which you've just told me that this house is over 100 years old. It's absolutely beautiful. And thanks for having us here.
It's my pleasure.
And we've talked for a long time about your story. I wonder if you could share with the viewers just a few words about your story, please.
I've had a lot of loss when I was a child. My father died when I was 6, and I only have a few memories of him because he was in the military. And then my mother got rheumatic fever, and a few years later, I was sent away to military school for 2 years. So I had very little contact with her. And in some ways, those challenges have enabled me to get through really difficult times. And later in life, and which I shared with you earlier, we had 3 children, and our children were in an automobile accident, and our infant was killed instantly, which was tragic. But before that, my mother had died. The month before, my mother died, and I was very close with her. As the years went by, we would talk every day, and I'd go to the hospital and play my bamboo flute, and we just got really close, and it was a big loss when she died, and then unexpectedly we lost our son. It was very difficult, and slowly we kind of got back on our feet, and then in the process my wife got pregnant again, and we had another child, and those were the real difficult times in my life. And then I remember the day when she said to me, 25 years later, we need to talk. And that was when she told me that she wanted to be on her own, and I was devastated. And but through it all, today I'm happy, and I accept things you can't change. And so here I am.
And here you are, Mark, and you're thriving. We've discussed what thriving means for you, and I wonder if you would share your very simple and straightforward definition of thriving.
To me, it's being joyful. It's to be joyful and to not hanging on to things that aren't working, and to complain. Is to be joyful, to be grateful for every day. And I think being grateful has a lot to do with feeling joyful, because when you're grateful, you're focusing on what is rather than what isn't, and to smile, to laugh, and which I think I do every day, and.
You've certainly done a lot of it during our interview. You've done a lot of laughing, and
I have.
I'm hoping to capture that laugh on the video before we finish this.
Laugh on demand.
Laugh on demand. You can't laugh on demand.
I can't laugh on demand.
Well, you might laugh before we finish this video.
I might. Yeah.
The last thing I want to ask you about are the resilience strategies that you think are really important to not just being able to survive in the face of such traumas as Dylan's death at the age of 1 year old, but to thrive, to bounce forward in the face of the challenge and the trauma. And you've already mentioned gratitude, which I know is one of your foundation strategies. Are there 1 or 2 other strategies you'd want to share
I think
with the
forgiving, to forgive yourself, thinking that maybe you could have done something different, to forgive other people, and to also forgive God. Because sometimes, things happen and you wonder, how could this have happened? So forgiveness has been a big part, because it's a matter of letting go. And this idea of letting go, letting God, and to have faith, and to another thing is what I found is to have an imagination, because most people tend to imagine the worst case scenario, and to imagine the best case scenario, to imagine having a dream, and to see that actually come into being. to really manifest it. And so I've always been a big dreamer, and I'm not afraid of being disappointed, because I realize if I'm disappointed, I'll just have another dream. And I've been disappointed a lot, but I keep coming back with another dream, and to again, the imagination, or they're just thoughts sometimes passing through, and to imagine, okay, how do I want my life to be, and to imagine experiencing that. Maybe you won't experience it, but certainly it gives you a feeling of possibility. And so imagination and curiosity are things I've done. And again, it's like, when things aren't working out, you can feel the pain and grieve, but at some point you have to let it go, and to go, okay, to get out there and to move forward, not to just say to wallow in your grief, but to move forward and to be willing to be supported, to let people in, and to realize that we all need to be together. And sometimes the greatest gift you can give someone else is letting them in, and to accepting their support. But a lot of us are reluctant to do that.
Yeah, that's true. I think I can honestly say, Mark, that you're the first person I've ever met who's featured on the front of the Rolling Stones magazine. Because I think you were actually on the front cover of Rolling Stones.
Not on the front cover.
Not on the front cover. Oh,
Okay.
you disappoint me, because
I know, sorry.
But you did make it.
Sorry.
You did make it into the Rolling Stones magazine.
3
didn't you?
times.
3 times?
Yes.
Oh my God. You see,
Yeah,
that's it. I want you to autograph your copy of your book for me, so that I can
will.
say
I
I've
will.
met a superstar.
Absolutely. I'd love to do that.
It's been a joy, Mark. Thank you
so
so
much,
much.
and thank you for doing this project.
Oh, it's a pleasure.